here's what happened. Today, if you guys remember, I was in a car accident, right? Remember that? I was at physical therapy today because I have a C4 through C7 issue with my neck and back.
Doctor said you need a backiotomy, I heard.
I heard, yeah. He's right. So, it's actually my neck and my back, Rich. And
what else?
And there's a big crack in my butt, Sam. And he's working on it. He goes,
I don't know if you'll ever fix that one.
He goes, my friend. He goes, you're going through the game. I'm like, I don't know yet, but I think so. He goes, do me a favor, my friend. And I was like, what? Do not wear your Yankees colors to Dodger Stadium, please, my friend. I'm like, really? You know, I was thinking about that. I don't know, man. It's like, you know, my buddy Rich was just there for the postseason, and he represented his Mets with his whole family, and he had a splendid time.
Yeah.
He goes, it's not worth it, my friend. Who are you going with? And I'm like, my girlfriend. He's like, I imagine she's good looking. Yeah, I think so. You know, people might use that as another reason just to bother you. You're an opposing fan. It's the World Series. They throw something at you. Let's see your team loses. They're antagonizing you on the way out. Is it really worth it? And I'm like, you bring up a good point. And then he said to me this, and this is what stuck in my head. And we go to the phones at 877-99 on Fox. He goes, you know, I'm a doctor. I'm a physical therapist. He goes, one of the only stories that he often Googles just to see if there's an update on is that Giants fan that got that beat down at Dodger Stadium. Remember, and he was in a coma. He was a fireman or something. He was an L.A. fireman, but he was a Giants fan, a San Francisco Giants fan, and he got a beat down at Dodger Stadium. Was in a coma, whatever. He goes, I often check up on that guy just to see his progress. He goes, because these are such meaningless moments, and it's just not worth it. He goes, you could go there, have a great time, represent your team, but for your safety, I would recommend you don't. I was like, huh. Now he got in my head a little bit. He's in my walls, as the kids say. He's in my walls with that one, so I posed the question to you guys. What do you think?
Isaac?
You've got sweet seats, right?
It's not in a suite, but they're sweet. That does matter, though, right? Am I sitting with the hooligans? Or am I sitting with, like, some corporate people? Rich, I can tell you where I'm sitting, in fact.
Yeah.
I think it's section, like, 132 or something like that.
132. I'm pulling that up right now.
First base line.
I will say this. After the game, before you go into the parking lot, take it off.
Wow.
Isaac.
Don't have the jersey on in the parking lot after the game.
See, that's great advice.
I want to give Isaac a bro hug because I implored this method when I would be on the East Coast. A couple times I went down to Philadelphia to see the Mets-Phillies, and I put my Mets jersey in a supermarket bag. I put it on as I approached the stadium because I didn't want anyone seeing my car. And then after the game, took it off, put it in the bag on the way back to the car. I don't want trouble. And Covino, let's go through the facts here. You're not a big drinker.
Yeah.
You're not going to get hammered.
I'm not a rowdy, belligerent guy, right? I'm respectful. I'm there to have a good time. I'm with my girlfriend.
You're not going to, unless someone, puts their hands on your girlfriend, you're not going to engage with some idiot.
Or throws a pretzel at us or something. Let me turn around and try to catch it if you're going to throw it at me. And again, this is no knock on Dodgers fans. I'm from New York. I'm from New Jersey. I know how terrible Yankees fans could be too. And there's a high pressure, highly emotional World Series. I get it, man.
There's idiots at every stadium. There's people at every stadium who drink too much.
Exactly.
But Rich knows from experience, being at Dodger Stadium with your Mets gear. Rich, you said there were nice fans around you wearing the Dodger blue.
Listen, and not to sound like pompous, but you got pretty good seats. The worse the seats, the rowdier it could get.
Well, that's courtesy of Fox Sports. If it was me, that might be a different situation.
But I'm saying if you're in like the bleachers or somewhere a little rowdier where the drinks are flowing more, if you're sitting in field level good seats, the crowd may be a little less rowdy.
I would give the same exact advice on the flip side, to be fair. Let's say you were a Dodgers fan and you got bleacher creature tickets in the Bronx. I would suggest maybe it's not worth it if you want to have a good time. Wear something neutral. In fact, that's what the physical therapist said to me. He goes, my friend, please just do me a favor. I think he just wants my insurance money. He wants to make sure I'm safe. He's like,
if you get killed, that's one less client.
Yeah. He goes, wear something neutral like a Bruce Lee T-shirt. I'm like, it's funny you say that. I got about 30 of them. That's exactly what he said. So what do you think, Fox Sports Radio Nation? You want to represent. You don't want to go into enemy territory fearful. You want to go and have a good time and represent.
Yeah, but I think unless you are the type that gets drunk, engages with idiots. Like I saw a Dodgers fan at Citi Field that he was the one that approached some Mets fans and started getting in their face like, yo, we won. And guess what happened to that guy?
What?
He got thrown down maybe 5 steps.
Well, guess what, Rich?
And he comes up rubbing his head. I'm like, well, you're the idiot that started engaging.
I'm not the type of guy to engage or look for trouble at all.
So
but I am the type of guy that has a punchable face, right? So people could look at me and be like, who does this guy think he is? You know, and I do have that vibe about me. I do have that Yankee fan sort of look.
Doesn't
right?
make you.
So that doesn't help. Your thoughts? That's question number 1 is, again,
opposing gear.
Opposing gear. Do you wear your jersey to the game? Before we get into question 2, I want to remind you guys, it's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studio. Tire Rack will help you get there. An unmatched selection, fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And if Covino survives this Yankees-Dodgers weekend, we'll be in Seattle Friday, November 1st, which will be Game 6.
Yep.
So we'll be hanging, doing the broadcast, having some drinks and food. Come join us, Graduate Hotel, Friday, November 1st in Seattle.
1 week from today.
1 week from today.
By the way, that's why it was so clutch for me to get those tickets for tomorrow. Tonight is a disaster. Carmageddon, as we described. Getting there is a nightmare. Tomorrow was the game because Game 6 will be in Seattle, like Rich said. And
one of the dads at the school this morning told me he's going tonight. He's a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
Said he was leaving at 1 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, there's no other way. Game starts at 5:08. He's like, I had to call a half day at work. Leave at 1 o'clock. There's no way you're going to make it otherwise.
That's crazy. And another quick reminder, not only November 1st in Seattle, November 22nd, the brand new Auburn location is our rescheduled date, and it's the day before Auburn hosts Texas A&M. So make a note. We're broadcasting live November 1st in Seattle, November 22nd in Alabama, and we're partying, and we hope to see you there. Details at Fox Sports Radio at Covino and Rich.
Okay, layer 2 to this fun. These are World Series ticket type questions.
Why don't we pose the question and then let you think about it, all right?
I got a second one. We'll think about it. Come back, take your feedback, and then, of course, we'll get to some NFL Week 8.
I really like this question.
If you're desperately trying to find a ticket to the World Series, NBA Finals, Super Bowl, playoff game, bowl game, U.S. Open, whatever the big event is, and the office weirdo approaches you and goes, hey, I got 1 extra ticket. You want to go with me?
You know, the guy that always wants to hang, but you know he's a little weird, so you always find something else to do. But he has this ticket.
Everyone knows the office weirdo.
Right.
Every office, every factory, every doctor's office, every school. I was saying I'd go with you.
I'm not the weirdo?
I'll text you who the office
You
weirdo.
look like the weirdo.
I do.
But you're actually a really nice guy.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're
Look
a
weird.
fun guy.
I think he just called you the Unabomber.
So the question is, if the office weirdo said, hey, I got an extra ticket, you and I could go. We'll hang. We'll get dinner and then go to the game. Do you want to go?
And then maybe you could sleep over. And you're like, nah, I don't know.
Maybe we could go try to meet some chicks.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. So do you go with the office weirdo if he is your only way into the stadium? We'll take your feedback on that. And not to be stereotypical, but a lot of times it's women who will hang with some weird guy because they may want access to something.
Oh, my goodness. That's a whole other layer of the question.
Right.
Like, let's say, let's say you're an attractive woman, and that weird dude that's always hitting on you has a ticket to something you actually really want to go to.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to this.
So, by the way, that's what we're getting feedback on. Let's start with Bill in Vermont. Bill, if you got access to the World Series, the Super Bowl, a playoff game, a bowl game, you name it, but you have to go with the office weirdo.
And Bill, Rich has a story about this, and he has to tell you because it wasn't a good experience. What's up, Bill?
What's up?
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm good. What's up?
I just wanted to call and point out that the office weirdo sounds an awful lot like Pat Mahomes.
Oh no, that's more of a hey guys. This is more of a hey, like this is like Little Nicky. Hey guys, what's up?
Sounds like androgynous Pat on SNL.
Have you seen my stapler? How about that? And have you seen my stapler? And do you want to go to the game with me?
Yeah, Milton's on the S list right now because of the damage he did to our country.
Yeah, what if the guy who has his office in storage room B has the sweet ticket and wants to go with you, and you really want to go?
Hey, third rail behind the dugout.
He was carrying a stapler with him.
Yeah,
Yo.
my stapler and my ticket, please.
Danny, we call ourselves the most interactive show, right? We hang out with listeners of the show. We've met so many great people over the years. We're not shy. In fact, probably a little too open. Over the years, we've gone to events, concerts, met out for drinks with people that support our show. It's our livelihood, so we appreciate it. I did make one mistake once. I had a buddy, a guy we knew through the radio show.
We knew through social media, but you could tell one's personality through social media. He seemed like an odd guy.
A little odd.
Yeah, a lot of the feedback was odd, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy, right? Just odd people. When you're talking to a national audience, there's going to be some oddballs.
Let's just say, I won't call it the city, because he probably is listening right now. This dude said, the Niners are going to be in my hometown. Niners are playing my team. Yo, if you happen to be in the area, I got like 50-yard line VIP suite tickets and listen,
and accommodations.
and accommodations. Like, my friend owns a hotel right near the stadium. You got the hookup, everything. And
He made it like he wanted to hang with Rich because, he was a fan, and Rich is very accessible, and we're just regular guys. But he made it an offer that Rich couldn't really refuse.
yeah, I'll pick you up at the airport. My friend is the general manager's hotel. Your room's comped, and we'll go to the game on Sunday. At the time, I had no kids, so I was like, yeah. I told my girlfriend, my wife now, yeah, I'm gonna go check out the Niners. This guy seems like a normal enough guy.
50-yard line?
I go, there's no hotel. He's like, yeah, it's like my friend's Airbnb, and it was like a dirty apartment.
He stayed at a dirty, dingy place.
And then when we get to the game,
Didn't you get like bitten by bed bugs?
they're not 50-yard line tickets. They're like
They're $50
they're like weak ass tickets. and I still had to seem like thankful and normal, like, oh, dude, man, I gotta get the hell out of here. So again, going with the office weirdo.
Yeah, but Rich slept on that like nasty couch and used like a towel as a blanket.
It
It was just one of those situations.
I scrub a dubs a little extra the next few days in the shower.
And
Like,
Rich
oh.
hated it. He was like, it was so awkward. The dude was a little weird. Should have picked up on that based on the feedback. And basically, that's what we're asking you. That weird guy, not a bad guy. He doesn't have to be a bad guy. He's just a little odd.
Yeah.
Would you go to the game with that guy? It is a little hypocritical. I say you don't. Because if you're too good to hang with that guy all the other times, now you're going to be like, yeah, okay, because you have the ticket. I think it's a bad idea and a bad look.
Like I told you, with women, it's the equivalent of like that weird guy that owns a boat, and all of a sudden women are like, yeah, I'll go on your boat. Like, don't use somebody.
Right.
Let's go to Dave in Texas. Dave, what's up, buddy?
I got two things, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you guys can help me out.
Yeah.
Well, first thing on the gear, wear your pinstripes or whatever you want to do for New York Yankees, but I also have a little sign that says, I know Monty Bolaños, but please don't beat me up or something like that. So.
Oh, yeah. But Fernando Valenzuela is a distant cousin.
Yeah. You're Covino Valenzuela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Monty, don't beat me up.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Monty. Leave me alone. Wow. Yeah, it's a good question because I'm the guy in this situation, right? My girlfriend thinks there's no problem with representing the other team. I'm like, no, man, fans get really passionate and rowdy sometimes.
You know, that's the best example.
Women could often put you in a jeopardizing situation, compromising situation.
Not to sound rude,
Yeah.
but a lot of times good-looking women have no clue what some guys go through.
Dude,
Like,
absolutely.
like your girlfriend's like a hot 30-year-old.
Yeah, no one's going to bother her.
Who's going to bother her?
They're going to bother me.
Exactly.
Some Dodger fan's going to give me a wedgie.
It's so weird. Everywhere I go, guys are nice to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No S. What's up, Iowa Sam?
I think a lot of things in life kind of run parallel to Seinfeld. This reminds me of like Kenny Banya owes Jerry a dinner, but he like doesn't want to spend any time with Jerry or with Kenny Banya. So he's like, I'm going to take you out for soup, and then like we'll go for the real meal like another time. And he's like, oh, this is ridiculous. I just want to have all one meal, just get it over with, and we move on with our life.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
But if you don't want to spend time with this person at work or for a beer after work, then don't go with them to a game just because you desperately want to get your feet through the gates.
But we bring it up because I think a lot of people would. Like, this is a hot ticket right now. We asked Danny G. I said, Danny G, at every office, every studio, every factory, warehouse, oil patch, wherever you work, whatever you do, supermarket, there's always that guy. He's a nice guy. He's a little weird. I asked Danny G, the weirdo here at Fox Sports Radio, and Lowenkron, it's not you. Don't worry about it. If the weirdo here at Fox Sports Radio asked you, what would you say?
Well, it's different because I've made a living going to games. And by the way, it had never occurred to me that I would be the Fox Sports Radio weirdo. Thank you very much.
It wasn't. Danny G was quick to say hell to the nah.
Really? Yeah.
No, I said no because it's not fair to that person because you're not going with them just to be friends with them. You're in essence using them to be at the event. That's not cool.
And you said it would just be awkward as hell.
It would, because if you're uncomfortable around them at your job, then being at an event, that's an awkward feeling in itself.
And there's a catch. There's got to be some sort of catch.
Would you go, Isaac? No, hell no.
Only because I've spent my life going to games and I don't really need to anymore. But if I was like a typical fan, one of our listeners in an office somewhere, that would be tough.
What's your favorite band, Isaac? Let me put you on the spot. Like do you have a favorite all-time band?
I guess Florence and the Machine, but that's because of Florence Welch.
That's your favorite?
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
right
ready?
Now.
Florence and the Machine are doing this really private, intimate show. Only 50 people. It's like invite only.
Already been there.
Okay.